What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and in continuing my series of Disney movie reviews, I'm here to let you know that Hercules is no perfect movie. And in it, Hercules is stolen from Mount Olympus as a baby and turned into a mortal by Hades, king of the underworld, so that he won't interfere with his plans to usurp the throne of Olympus. But when Hercules grows up as an adult and Zeus tells him the truth, he sets out to train with Philoctetes, played by Danny DeVito, so that he can prove himself to be a good hero and one day return home. Now, I can't talk about this movie without talking about James Woods as Hades. He is the one Disney actor I can think of who comes this close to making the character his own since Robin Williams as the genie. And they both have the same technique that made their characters so memorable, their improvisation. Williams made the genie so energetic, clever, creative, and unbelievably insane, whereas Hades' ad-libs make the character out to be kind of an agent or a salesman. He throws every scheme, every idea, every insult at you to see what sticks. And that's what made the character really interesting, despite the fact that he has a really simple motivation. And I also really enjoyed Rip Torn as Zeus and Danny DeVito as Philoctetes, especially Danny DeVito. Basically, if you had Grumpy from the Seven Dwarves and made him a mentor to somebody, it would be Phil. In fact, apparently they based the design of Grumpy when they were drawing Phil, and honestly, you can kind of tell just by looking at him. But in all seriousness, I did enjoy DeVito's snarky and sarcastic personality. It made him a good comic relief. Zeus was a likable mentor anyways. There wasn't anything super deep about him, but Rip Torn's timing and delivery made even the most simple moments feel really effective. And same for Bobcat Goldthwait and Matt Frewer as Hades' minions. They get a couple good, kind of silly and stupid, but effective moments. And in the few scenes that they are, I enjoyed the muses as the narrators. The way that they sing their songs like a gospel choir bring a lot of energy to their songs, especially Zero to Hero. That one is catchy as hell. I've listened to it quite a few times, even before watching this movie. And the odd thing about the muses is that they are the only humans who actually kind of resemble humans, because that's one huge problem I have with it. The animation makes the characters look really awkward. The designs of Greece and the landscapes, they look fine. But any character that's supposed to resemble a human, they all have really weird features like misshapen noses or faces that look like triangles in a very unnatural way, especially with Meg. Even their ears look weird. Hercules' ears, they're not ears, they're squiggly lines, and it's really distracting to look at. And in a weird way, it makes the animation look cheap, even though it is fast and fluid like you would expect from a Disney movie. Even as far as action scenes go, when you have gods, titans, evil creatures like Hydra, you would expect at least one fight scene to be flat out awesome. But each fight scene for me anyways felt incredibly short. And I think it's because they couldn't really decide when Hercules could be invincible or when he could get knocked down by someone, because those rules change so much in order to serve the story. Speaking of, that's kind of my biggest problem with the movie. Hercules. I didn't really care about him as a character, even though I was given plenty of opportunities to do that. For one, his adoptive parents are loving and supportive despite the fact that he, at the beginning, has no idea how to control his strength and it causes a lot of damage. Why do they love and support him? I don't know. They're in like 2 scenes and they're all incredibly rushed. And I swear, I'm not even kidding, his arc revolving around wanting to return to Olympus to be a hero is mostly to get attention and for people to like him. And I know that was the purpose. I know he was supposed to get carried away with the fame and attention that he would get once he succeeds at being a hero, and that he would have to learn that it's more important to put yourself before others through this relationship with Meg. But I didn't really feel the connection between Hercules and Meg, and I wasn't as big of a fan as Meg as I was hoping I would. Because watching her character and the arc that she goes through, it reminded me of Lena from DuckTales, because her arc is incredibly similar. They have a master who's forcing them against their will to work against their friends. But with Lena, there was more time to establish the connection between her and Webby and to establish the amount of fear that we should have for her situation, and with Magica. With this movie, her backstory, Meg's backstory, is summed up in one quick sentence, and she spends the majority of the movie not even being afraid of Hades, despite the fact that she really could die, that I didn't feel her stakes, even though there clearly were some to begin with. The only time I really felt bad for her was when she sings I Won't Say I'm in Love, and that's mostly just because I like the song. It's got some nice music, some sweet lyrics. It does shed some light on what she's feeling in the moment. But that's the only time we really feel any chemistry for her and Hercules. They allegedly spend one night together when they're all alone, but we don't see it. We hear them talk about it. We hear this really awkward King Oedipus joke because apparently they went to see the play, and I'm like, okay, great, you can kind of sort of make a dirty joke there, but that was about it. The only interesting thing about Hercules for me is the fact that at one point he was wearing Scar's head. I'm not kidding, he's wearing Scar's head. And that's about it. Aside from some catchy songs and a few funny side characters, I do like Zeus, I do like Phil, even though there's nothing super deep about them. They're just likable, and that's mostly because of the actors. Hercules was honestly pretty forgettable, and it bums me out to say this, but I'm going to give Hercules a 2.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. If you've seen Hercules, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Be sure to stay tuned for more Disney reviews, and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.